Hello and welcome to Empyrion Galactic Survival Reforged Eden version 1.10. I'm Winslow. Today we are going to be taking care of some crafting bits, and I'm going to put in the start of the garden with the hydroponics plots that I had salvaged back on the Dread planet. Let's do that first. So the spot in this base for hydro is, let me get my seeds. I don't have a lot, but I have fruit, I have vegetable, I have grain, and I have sweetener. And I'll need to go around and I need to go hand pick some stuff so that I can get the rest. I can plant some aloe and then plant some of the plant protein. And then I'm going to use the bell peppers or the blue peppers here for vegetables, but then I will swap them out for tomatoes because the tomatoes have a higher yield than the peppers. Peppers give 2 vegetables, tomatoes give 8 vegetables, even though tomato is a fruit. Okay, so I got 12 12 of the plots, and I'm just turning off the grow lights to save on power until we further expand. And okay, so we got space orange and blue pepper and sweetener, and then wheat. I'll need herbal leaves, I'll need spice, and mushrooms. That will allow me to make... Oh, and plant protein. That will allow me to make pretty much every food item if I have water, and then a lot of the medical items. So I've got a ship that I already completed in the blueprint factory, the Astral cube. And I'm going to work on getting the utility vehicle here. Most of the gold that I had mined out from the barren metal went into optronics for the SV, the mining SV. But since I found this mining SV, and I will link it in the description, it is most excellent. It's the Astral Cube by Aaroww, and it is a wonderful example of compact construction. It's got everything you need with room for expansion for the task that you need it for. And if you even wanted to convert it to a combat cube, you could, because you could just swap out the mining lasers for Gatlings or laser cannons, and it would still accomplish the same awesome task of whatever you needed it to. But it's designed as a mining vessel. But has lots of room for upgrades on the inside. And then this HV is a modified version. I took the tool turret out and swapped around some of the lasers to make it cheaper. Just because of the placement of the tool turret, it was angled downward so that you could, in theory, drill. You park somewhere and you drill down. It was not helpful to use when I used it originally. the ship always got in the way. The HV itself always got in the way of drilling, and then you would be drilling out a huge hole beneath you, or at a weird angle. So it's a nice concept, but it doesn't quite work the way I think is intended. Space engineers is good for engineering and creating structures that you can drill out over time. You can use pistons and drills. Unfortunately, we don't have that in Empyrion. So I think just using a regular HV drill, drilling forward, or a small vessel with drills, drilling down or any direction is it works more with the mechanics of the game. It works better. But so I think I'm needing titanium. Yeah, I've got a little bit of titanium left, but I don't think that that's enough. And I also am going to be making... I'm ready for the auto miners, because I have the miner cores and the lasers, but I need optronics for the HV, and I need all of that for the auto miners. So I think we'll just go mine some asteroids first. I'm gonna bring this little guy, the mole, along and stick him on the ship. And if we decide to go planet side, then I'll be able to mine down there and get my fuels and stuff back. Because I don't know if I showed you, but I converted the warp tube into a mining ship. I put 2 laser drills on the front, and I swapped out the container controller for a harvest controller. So when I am using the drills to harvest asteroids, it goes right into the ship storage, which you can use as regular storage. Looking good. Okay. Up, up, and away. So there's a lot of asteroids out and about, and without regenerating POIs, these are kind of one shot and they're done, which is unfortunate even also for like the gold asteroids. But I'll be able to have gold meteorites on a lava planet. The 2 crusted lava in my system, I had checked, and they will not have gold meteorites, but a regular lava will. So I've got a regular lava in a nearby system. I'm okay with making a day trip of it for unlimited gold. But it's always good to fill up on, get a load of copper, get a load of iron, to make sure that you've got titanium, cobalt, so that you can build some of the basics that you'll need. Now the system that I'm in is filthy with Xerax interdictors and interceptor ships. And they don't really hurt this ship at all. I think it'd be kind of cool if, like the little drones that pop out, the little ships, if they could initiate a distress beacon and call in big ships, but that could also get problematic if someone was to do that in a place where you had a base. Okay, well, that's done. Let's go ahead and throw all of this into the furnace. Got a lot of titanium. I figure I will eventually put in the remaining crafting stations in here. I'll put in another furnace, and then I'll put in more constructors and then deconstructors, so that this can be a fully functional base. But I'll need some CPU extenders for that, but we'll get there. Okay, so I've got both of the ships ready to spawn in. Do I want to do it outside? I don't want to deal with anything bothering them, because they won't be protected if they're not docked. So let's just do it in the hangar here. There's more than enough space. Okay, we got the cube. And the utility. And I'm going to put a docking pad on the side of it so that it can dock to the side of the warp tube, and then the cube can just go on the top of it. The cube makes drilling out ores really easy because you can just drill down. And the placement of the lasers allows you to have enough clearance so that you can just dig down. And this one has turrets, so it defends itself passively. But let's go get whatever's in this drone. Yeah, ammo and fuel. I'm not going to say no to ammo and fuel, especially if it's ammo that I use. The lights on it can make it hard to see in this ship. That's the only downside, is that because the front of it is glass, there are times with just the nature of how textures work in Empyrion, you'll get the reflection of the texture behind you. So while you can dig through molten rock, don't fly into lava itself, because lava will be considered liquid and will flow into your ship and it will kill you. But you can go through the molten rock that is still solid, but you won't be able to see much. So you'll just have to keep an eye out for your HUD to make sure that you are where you are, or where you need to be. But I have auto miners now, and we're going to set some up. I am going to set up an aluminum auto miner here on the Sandy Moon, because the HV has a positron turret, and my eventual combat ship will have positrons. And positrons need aluminum. At least the big ammo does. I don't think the small one actually does. But we need aluminum. We're going to need a lot of it in the future. And while I'm here, I might as well get some fuel. That's the reflection I'm talking about. It's not super annoying, but with the lights and the dust from drilling, it does make it hard to see in a lot of cases. So Just check your HUD, make sure you're level, and you can dig a pretty solid tunnel pretty fast with this ship. And it's even got oxygen and a trauma station for healing, in case you're out and about. Okay, so auto miner and fuel. I made the promethium fuel cells because they run longer than the regular double strength dual fuel cell. And what you want to do with the auto miner is you can put it on an ore node above ground, and then you access the inventory and you put fuel in. And it tells you the ore per hour and the running time for your miner. So that's when you need to come back and check it. And then the remaining miners, I'm going to set up on the barren metal here. I've got a pretty good sweet spot for some ore nodes, but there's 2 aircraft, anti-aircraft installations that I need to deal with. So before, when I had mentioned undermining, I'm going to show you what that is. Now, this is mostly forbidden on many multiplayer servers, so I really only do this in single player, because this is a really easy way to take out POIs. Get myself level to, just below where the POI is, a distance away. And then I just start drilling. And then eventually you'll see the underside of the POI. Now, these ones won't collapse because there's enough structural support. But what you'll see is I will uncover. These ones happen to have the shield generator right on the bottom, which is good design and terrible design at the same time. It's good design because your shield generator is protected from aerial assault. And it's much harder to get to if you are fighting from the sky. It's bad design because there's absolutely no defense for it when you drill in from underneath. And I'm just using the Gatlings because I don't have lasers on this HV, but I'm using the Gatlings to tear down the shield. And it does take a bit of work, as you'll see. And when you're in first person view in a ship, if you hit Alt, you can move your head around the cockpit and you can see up and around. Okay, shields are weakening. I only have 2 Gatlings on this ship, and the laser drills won't do any damage. Now the positron would do a lot of shield damage, but the positron has targeting issues when underground, I think. It does on multiplayer. But I have my turret set to target generators. So we'll see if it works. Taking out these two is going to free up, I think, 6 ore nodes for me because they won't regenerate. All I need to do is pop the core. Then I'm going to harvest the turrets, harvest whatever components are inside, and leave the base to rot. I could just completely edit this part out, but I want you to have like a realistic understanding of how much time this takes. Like how much ammo it takes, how much time it takes, and why I should have put lasers on this instead of Gatlings. Here we are. That's it. Shield's done. And the generator should be right above us, right where it says Forge Aerospace. Oh, I guess the positron will work. Oh, because it was, yeah, because it's on the back. It wouldn't, otherwise it would have been shooting this whole time. Whoops. But the positron has decent block damage and good, like I think medium damage to shields. Positrons are great because they're super accurate. Sorry for the sound. Okay, the thing popped up showing Xerax rep reduction, which means I destroyed a block. Another block done, and there we are. That's it. POI is done. Let's get back to this ship and go topside after I put a salvage core on there. So then I'm gonna go and loot. I'm gonna dismantle the turrets, then loot the boxes, and then I'm gonna put up my remaining auto miners and fuel them. And then these will be things that I can come back and check every day when I play, when I start, and do my, as I call them, daily chores. And don't worry, I will be doing POIs. I don't want to say legitimately because this counts as a tactic. I didn't cheat or anything. I just went underneath. But I will be doing some of the bigger POIs as intended. A lot of the abandoned alien POIs in Xerax. And I'll probably even start going after some pirates, unless I want to fully befriend them. Pirates will sell you ammunition for cheap if they're friendly with you. But I also kind of want to get to neutral and see if I can sneak on board one of their ships and maybe sabotage it. Because one of the planets in this system has a Dreadmaw frigate in orbit, and they don't really move a lot, but I could also kind of block it in with my own ship and see if I can sneak on board and just pop the core while they're just not doing anything. And see if maybe I can take it. I can take a ship. Or, ooh, maybe even better yet, or I could go to the pirate station that's here, the battle station, and steal their battle station. Ooh, I've got a decision to make. Ooh, I got to think about that. But for now, this is the anti-aircraft turrets and barren metal mining. So I want to thank you for your support. I've got a lot of people lately who have joined. Hello. Thank you for subscribing and watching and liking and commenting. I appreciate it. I really do. These videos take a fair amount of time to make, but they're a lot of fun, and I appreciate you being here. So on that note, I'll see you next time when we're going to be engaging in some sneakery. Bye.